Hello, welcome back to the wonderful Alexandra. Alex, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Good to be back. You're refreshed, or does the holiday seem like it was long, far away, or you still got that holiday feeling?
I'm still on holiday mood, but I'm sure I'm going to go back to reality very soon.
All right, well, cool. For those who are joining us for the first time, my name's Alex. I help organizations that sell to retailers maintain their thought leadership and relevance within the market. And my co-host, the wonderful Alexandra.
I work for Business France, the French Trade Commission in London, and I specialize in retail technology, and I help French companies expanding in the UK and British retailers working with innovative solutions in France.
Fantastic. So why don't we get started? And our first news story is with you, TikTok.
Yes, so my first topic today is about Fnac Darty and TikTok. And the reason why I chose this is because it shows how a traditional retailer like Fnac Darty is adapting to new digital platforms. So for those who may not know this retailer, they are a major French retailer specializing in electronics, appliances, and cultural products too, and both physical and online. And very recently, in June, they have launched their first store on TikTok Shop to reach younger consumers. They have run a test phase, and the brand focused on small selection of seasonal and trendy products, for example, air fryers or LED face masks. And customers can buy now directly on TikTok. And while Fnac Darty doesn't get the customer data, they can still manage the delivery and the after-sales service. And the goal here is to build trust with the younger consumers. And it's not only about sales, but also it's more about brand image. So Fnac Darty wants to stand out by offering reliable products on a platform that is very often linked to cheap products and imports. And they are hoping to satisfy the TikTok buyers and that they will later return on their own website because, it's important to get. Yeah. I think this shows how important it is for retailers to go where their customers are and not just wait for them to visit their website. And TikTok has a massive audience, especially among younger generations. So even if it's not a huge sales channel right now, it's a smart way for Fnac Darty to stay visible and relevant in this audience.
Yeah, love it. I think it's the bit that you mentioned about them starting on TikTok with, meeting their customers where they are, but with the ambition to get the customer to move on to their asset, I think is interesting to see where if that happens or not, in terms of, will customers just keep going back to TikTok Shop or will they go to Fnac Darty? Okay, cool. I think we both love this one because we both love recycle, reuse, or upcycle. And Amazon has just launched its first ever second chance deal days, a week focused entirely on returned and refurbished products from the 3rd of September. So from Wednesday till, I don't know when the 9th of September is, to the 9th of September, we can think about Renewed, which is the tech and open box home goods with up to 50% discounts. The event is live across Europe, including Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and the UK. And Amazon says there are 10 millions of secondhand items in the catalog, with over 60 million Europe-wide and more than 30 million, so more than half in just the UK alone, which is a really clear signal that, value-seeking shop is nearly new. And I think generationally as well, as long as conditions and transparency in warranty and support is clear, which I think most of them come with a 12-month guarantee anyway, which is very similar. But again, what a really interesting move. And I think what we'll see as the expected traffic shift from pristine to refurbished listings, especially in consumer electronics and small domestic appliances. Brands and marketplace sellers lean into this sort of quality cues, looking at battery health, look at graded conditions, and no hassle returns, which really bundles the resale experience into device and protection plan. And I think, again, it's fantastic news for us as consumers. And, just the fact that they've got 30 million items from the UK, I think gives you an idea of how much is sold through the UK market. But anyway, it's a great signal in my mind.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's on there myself. So I will be on there later today. Moving on to you.
Yeah, so next topic is about Decathlon. So this article shows how, again, the brand is adapting to urban retail this time with a new format. So last week, they have opened a new Decathlon City store in Paris, and more precisely in Montparnasse. But this one is very special because it is located inside another store called Boulanger. For those who don't know Boulanger, it is very similar to Fnac Darty. It's a retailer specializing in electronics and appliances.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, this new shop is smaller, about 700 meter squares, and focuses on urban sports like cycling, fitness, running, along with seasonal activities like hiking or water sports. And this is Decathlon's 9th store in Paris and the 3rd with this city format. And they would like to attract more customers with like services such as bike repairs, lockers for online pickups, and even products testing before purchase. I haven't tried it, but I think this is really interesting. And their goal is to have the store less than 20 minutes away from where people live, work, or travel in big cities. So I think the partnership with Boulanger is very smart because it mixes sports and tech, something that is very unusual, but it shows how big retailers are changing their strategy to be closer to people's daily lives. And by sharing the store together, they both save money on costs and they can offer a new experience with sports and electronics together to their customers. I think
I'm super curious. Maybe when we're both, well, when we're in NRF Paris, I'll go along and have a look because it seems like such a mixed use case of sports and electronics. But then I have no idea how they've planned it. So whether or not it is, like you go into a department store, one floor has clothing and one floor has electronics. Is it the same? So, and maybe that's the strategy behind this. How do we create that department store feel? Because Decathlon's range just keeps expanding. And so, yeah, really interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
It's worth a visit. Paris.
Is it far away? Is there another? It's probably on the other side of Paris, right?
I'm not sure, both the Paris, so.
You failed the Paris geography. You're too much of a Londoner.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Moving on. DHL. Oh, sorry. It's not actually DHL. This story, the US and tariffs. The US ends its minimis EU pause parcels, which basically means the US has suspended the $800 minimum duty-free threshold for low-value imports. That came into effect on the 29th of August. For those who listen to the Australia APAC show, we were talking about how the Australia Post has had to do what the European postal companies are now, which is cease all postal shipments to the US because they don't have the mechanism to charge the consumer up front for flat rate duties, which range from anywhere from $80 to $200 per package. And so these postal, their traditional postal companies are thinking about how do they address this problem because they're going to have to either outsource it or redo their systems to be able to take this payment from consumers. And the new systems rollout will obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. So I see this as a position that's going to happen. A position that will continue. And many European postal operators obviously forced to, as I mentioned, to restrict or temporarily pause US bound parcels, citing limited time and unclear collection mechanisms. Some carriers, like DHL that we've got, have confirmed postal network suspensions for business parcels from Germany, but express shipments continue under their new standard commercial clearances. So it's a moving beast. I think it's going to have a massive impact especially for direct to consumer brands that are shipping direct to the US, potentially medium-sized organizations, because they won't have that flexibility of shipping suppliers, because it's all cost. And the poor customer at the end of the day will end up having to either lose out or pay more. Man, so who knows what's going to happen with this. Moving on into our last one, and we're just almost there, Zalando.
Yes, so next topic about Zalando. So we mostly know Zalando for fashion, but now they're really pushing into the beauty sector, which I find very interesting. Their sales have been growing fast on this category. What is very interesting is that most customers can now buy beauty products along with clothes. I know this is something that some other brands are doing, but this is very surprising for a brand like Zalando, which has always been specializing on clothes. So now you're able to buy skincare along with your favorite clothing brands. To support this, Zalando is using technology and a lot of different digital tools, which I find very, interesting, like virtual try-ons. You can, for example, see how a lipstick or eyeshadow will look like on you using your phone. Yeah. They also use smart recommendations to suggest matching products. And you can also browse the products with a 360 product view. So that's interesting. Yeah. And they also have boards created by influencers and customers where you can explore the looks, routines, trends. So they went full on, and they keep adding big names like Drunk Elephant, Laura Merlin, Kiehl's, and they are expanding their beauty offer to more countries like Spain and Finland. So their goal is very clear. They want to become the leader for online beauty in Europe, especially for younger shoppers who want shopping experiences to be more creative and personal. So I think Zalando is making a bold move into a competitive space, and they are going up against beauty specialists like Sephora, for example, which is also pushing similar technologies and digital features. So combining fashion and beauty in one place is great, but I'm very curious to see on the long term whether their customers will still be engaged, will stay with them instead of, moving to specialized beauty retailers like Sephora. So looking forward to
I think it's really a really tough one. I think with beauty being such a big category out there, it'll be interesting whether or not people just fall into getting their staples. But anyway, we've hit time. Alex, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad that you had some time off, and I look forward to seeing. Well, we're going to have one more show before the meetup. But I am excited about Paris. So anyway,
yeah, me too.
It's a beautiful city, and it's going to be nice to see you in person.
Yes.
Well, have a lovely week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. See you next week.
Take care. Bye.